And for a moment, I invite you to think of those you love, whether they've moved on from this physical realm or whether they're still here. And maybe you invite all of them into your heart because we just never know how long they'll be with us. And we may still be trying to understand what the relationship is once they've moved on. What I've been realizing this week is what a tapestry we are. How woven into my being my Father is, and how woven He is into the lives and stories of other people. And then I think of all those people that came together as a part of my life and now as a part of my story, that wove my understanding of my Father even deeper into my being. And I invite you to feel into that yourself. Which threads from other people are colorful or iridescent in your tapestry? How do these threads and colors help to make you who you are? And here's a poem gift from Bella. Almighty light of blue, gorgeous hue of missing you, heavenly serene of green, deepest love that's never seen, now intertwined for eternity. Feel into your own colors. The beings threading their way through your life. Can you breathe a brightness or deepness into the colors? Do they gather or reflect the light? Imagine that this is a tapestry you're looking at. Woven together by the forests and the stars and the humans and the animals and the plants that have made you who you are. the places, the laughter, the conversations. And then imagine you can take this tapestry down and it's soft and supple, and you can wrap it around yourself. And then it melts into you. A layer of warmth and love. Layers of awakening and realization. Breathe deep into your own body and being, realizing how interconnected you are. Feel the expanse of space inside of you as you breathe. And the expanse of space outside of you, you draw the breath from. I also received this card. Perhaps they are not stars in the sky, but rather openings where our loved ones shine down to let us know they are happy. Breathe in the light of those stars. In Nulato, in Athabascan village on the Yukon River, where I taught for a few years, whenever the northern lights came out, the kids would go outside and whistle. They said that the whistling would make the elders who lived in the northern lights dance. I remember being outside on the banks of the Yukon watching the northern lights and listening to my students whistle and laugh and whistle. Let's breathe into the mystery of it. And inhale our hands to our own hearts. Let's feel how much this life is made of. And even though we've gone through challenges and loss, how lucky we are. Namaste. Okay. Let's come to standing. Let your hands shake gently and move. And as you bounce a little at the knees, feeling the soles of the feet on the floor connected to earth, just feel into the mystery of the movement of your fingers, of the bones in your hands, relaxing your wrists and elbows, and really let your consciousness settle into the nervous system's awareness of the movement in your hands. This practice is about awakening, unifying the body. So give your hands your full attention for a moment. I see you, I feel you, I want to know you. Think of all that these hands do for us in this life. And see if gratitude arises. Whether the hands help us to write or paint or add a finishing touch to our yoga asana, cook our food, pet our pets, and then feel your way up your arm to your elbow. Imagine for a moment not having the elbow. And all the way up to the shoulders. And then gently stop the shaking and the bouncing and pause. Just feel your arms. Feel any energy moving through them. And feet grounded. Inhale the arms up to the left. And exhale them gently down to the right. And inhale. Visualizing this cycles of life. Whether it's the cycle of day into night, or the cycle of the moon, or the cycle of the seasons, or the cycle of your own life. Let yourself be in these cycles as your arms move. And even as this awareness moves outward, feel into the movement of the fascia inside the body. How the cycles of your arms stretch and release tissue. Invite the movement of energy. And pause with your hands low and inhale up the other way and cycle. And inhale the lift and exhale the release, moving at your own pace. Now pay attention to the cycles of your breath. Where does the breath go in the body? How does it move? And you feel your feet on the floor. Stay aware of the cycles of breath. The stretch and release of the fascia. And then pause, hands by your side, and let the palms float upward. And inhale, lift your heart and pause for a moment. Invite in the sky, the colors of the trees, and then exhale. Let the spine float over in a wave and pause with the back of your heart lifted towards the sky and the backs of your hands together. Breathe into the back of the heart. In yoga, let the back of the heart represent community. And then inhale again, lifting the front of the heart. And then roll over, lift the back of the heart. And as we lift the front of the heart, let your unique light shine. And as we fold over, acknowledge the community that makes you who you are. Inhale and exhale. We draw energy in from this community as we lift the front heart. We exhale energy out to this community through the back of the heart. We inhale and exhale. And we flow like water over earth. and see how water-like your movement can be. Let yourself flow. Become the water that you are. I love this image that I was taught from Kashmir Shaivism when I studied with Anasori Yoga. We are each a unique individual wave in the ocean, filled with the energy of the ocean. We are one wave, and we are a part of something so much greater. Invite that so much greater to fill you and interconnect you. We are the water, and we are the one unique wave. Let yourself be filled with the ocean. The greens and the blues of it. The shimmering silvers of it. All the fish and the sharks and the octopi of it. Let yourself become the seaweed moving in the wave. And then pause. And stepping 1 foot back and 1 foot forward, let your arms wash gently forward with the wave come onto the front foot. And let your arms wash gently back with the wave onto the back foot. And inhale and exhale. And float forward and float back. And imagine that you're emptying the leg that lifts off the floor and filling the leg that lands on the floor. And let that emptiness be nice, a release of stagnant energy. And let the filling be full of prana, full of life force, inviting in that fresh energy, but also enjoying the emptiness. And then see if you can slow the rocking down and pause on one leg full of your weight and your connection, the other leg empty. And then float and fill the other leg and empty. And a few more times slowly, feeling full and empty, inviting both empty and full. And then step the other leg forward and begin to wash forward and back. Inhaling and exhaling. And let yourself feel the wave of movement first, being as much like water as you can be. The joints loose and fluid. The face relaxed. Perhaps there's a tiny smile in the mouth, which makes the eyes smile a little bit. See if you can feel the smile from the inside of the mouth and notice, does that smile also reverberate through the eyes and even into the rest of the body? And then let yourself rest onto one leg, lifting the other, emptying the lifted leg, filling the standing leg. And then move to fill the opposite side and empty. And again, when you're ready, feeling fullness and emptiness. And then switching, feeling emptiness and fullness. And then step your feet beside each other in mountain pose. And inhale, reach skyward. And reach the left hand away from the left foot and switch. Right hand reaches for the stars. And let yourself knead the earth with your feet and reach into the sky. And imagine that your whole body can lengthen and you're growing up into the infinite sky through the stars. And your skin and your boundaries may loosen a little as the energy moves through the fabric of who you are. Let the starlight in. Let the spaciousness in to the tight and stagnant energy inside the body. See if you can move it. Release it. Let it flow. Be open to the energy. Root both feet, reach both hands. And rooting the tailbone, interlace the hands. Bring the thumbs to the base of the skull and lift the back body along. Lifting the low back ribs, lifting the base of the skull, lifting the elbows. Heart open skyward. Fluid breath. Feel how the back of the heart supports the lifting front of the heart. Let yourself rest into that community behind you. And then exhale back to standing and fold into your Utkatasana legs and let your arms swing. Let them go. Invite the energy flow down into the fingers, through the body. And then inhale, hands up to the heart and pause in stillness. How much of your body can you be aware of today? Can you feel the soles of your feet on the floor and invite them to draw earth energy up into your body? Can you feel the crown of your head and invite sky down into the body? And as your legs work here, can you feel the earthiness of who you are? Feel each finger and thumb pad against the other. Fluid, three-dimensional breath. And release back to mountain pose. Shoulders resting on the back body, head resting back. Let's bring in our blocks for some sun salutations. And let's inhale and reach for the sky. And exhale, bend the knees. And inhale, lift the heart and lengthen the spine. And exhale, step the right foot back, high lunge. Feel into your buoyant pelvis even as you root the legs and lower the back heel so you can float up to your Virabhadrasana 1. And let that heart lift and extend skyward. Feel into the back of the heart, buoying the front of the heart. And exhale, your wings down. Humble warrior. Shoulder blades strong on the back. Let your palms face the earth, thumbs out. Really feel for creating strength in the back body and hug in from side to side your hips, creating the banks to your river. Can you lengthen the spine here? And then inhale, lift the heart once again, honoring the elders in the heavens, the stars we may not see in daylight. And exhale. Let your hands come back down to the blocks. Lift your heel and lower the back knee. Release into your low lunge. Let's let it be light here. You can draw the blocks back if you're using blocks or press down on your chair seat. And inhale, lift your heart. Fluid breath. Just feel into this simple version of the pose. And if this doesn't feel good, come back to high lunge. Roll back the hips, roll the toes under and lift. Straighten the front leg now as you lower the back heel into your Parsvottanasana. And either walk back from the chair seat or take your blocks forward. Really try to find extension of the spine, drawing the front leg hip crease back, Parsvottanasana. If it's too much on your hamstrings, keep a bend in the front knee. Fluid breath. Three-dimensional breath. And then drawing the blocks back around your foot, step the front foot back, plank, and rock your plank over your toes. And then land the knees down, lift the feet, lift the heart, and let the chin reach forward in front of you, stretching the front of the neck, stretching the fascia of the neck. Invite movement through tight tissue. And then roll back. If you're at the chair, you step back, lengthening the spine. Roll back towards a child's pose or a half dog from the chair, lengthening the spine, breathing space between the vertebrae. Broad across the shoulder girdle. You can lift the head and neck a little so that the spine can lengthen even as you stretch through the shoulders and the fascia of the rib cage. And then roll back up, rolling back into your downward dog, and walk your dog. Fluid breath. And if you've ever walked dogs before, think of those dog walks you've been on and how they're woven into the fabric of who you are. The smells, the sights, the happy dogs. If you're a cat person, think of playing with your cats. Their frolics. And then come to stillness and float the right leg up behind you and step it forward. Bring your blocks to high if you're on blocks. Fingertips to the chair seat and lower the back heel and float up. Vira I. Now really root from the pelvis into earth so you can lengthen the spine skyward and lift the heart. Release at the shoulder girdle so you can lengthen the neck. Create space in the uplifted pose. The banks of the river hug in from the hips to stabilize the pose, and we root into the four corners of each foot as we exhale and float forward into our humble warrior. Palms down, thumbs out, shoulder blades on the back body, back of the neck long. Reach the tailbone long towards the back heel. Three-dimensional breath as we bow to earth. And then from the strength of earth, we lift towards the heavens. Open the heart. Fluid breath. Can we both feel grounded and open and free? And then exhale, hands back down to your props. Lift the back heel and lower the back knee, releasing the foot and just pausing in this low lunge. Not trying to take it farther, but really just feeling into the body here. Finding the integrity of hugging in the banks of the river, lengthening the spine, even through the neck. Feeling into the breath, into this unique moment of our lives. Always modifying poses if you need to for more comfort and ease as you strengthen. And then roll the hips back, the toes under, and lift up into your Parsvottanasana stance. So remember, you want your spine long here. You don't want to cat curl the lumbar spine. You want to hinge from the hip. So you may not come as low as you see some people go in the poses because we don't want to keep cat curling the low back in these standing pose positions because eventually that may lead to bulging a disc. So we keep long in the spine and we hinge from the hip. So some people may be up here. That may be enough stretch for the hamstrings. Some people may bend the front knee. You're just finding opening in the body. If you go too far and the body grips back, you don't find the opening. Create the space where the light can shine through. Fluid breath. Let the light shine right into the physical tissues of the body. You are your own best friend. Modify for your well-being. And then bend the front knee and step back into your plank and rock across the toe box. And then pause if you'd like and lift one heel just a few inches from the floor. Feel the strength across your pelvis and lower the foot and lift the other. Now, if lifting is hard, just stay on both feet. That's okay. Broad across the shoulder girdle, long in the neck. Both feet land on the floor. Come to your knees. Lift your heart. Lift your gaze. Let the chin reach forward. Feel in to the tissue of the front of the neck. Good morning. Breathe into your vocal cord box. Breathe into your thyroid and parathyroid glands. And then roll back into child's pose. Or if you're at the chair, into a chair down dog. Fluid breath. Lift the head and neck a little and then lengthen back some more. Breathe deep into the belly, to the side waist and low back. Inviting the breath deep into the body massages the vagus nerve, helps us release into a parasympathetic nervous system state, helps us rest into our day. And then float back up onto your hands, roll the legs under into your downward dog and walk your dog. And let the moments of your life wash through you. See if you can look for moments that you're grateful for. Let yourself be filled with those moments. And then walk the feet forward and heels under sit bones, second metatarsals parallel, bend the knees and inhale, hands to the heart, Utkatasana. Fluid breath. Feel into the strength of your legs in Utkatasana. Find your shoulder blades on the back body and exhale, twist one direction and inhale to center and exhale, twist the other direction and inhale, center and exhale and inhale at your own pace. Feel into the stable legs, knees staying forward over your second metatarsals as the spine moves. This is a concentration practice. Dharana. And then come back to center and let your arms swing and reach them for the sky and interlace them the funny way, thumbs to the base of the skull, extend the back body, reaching the elbows, plant the heels, opening the heart, feeling how the back of the heart supports your unique, open, individual heart. And if you'd like to, unfurl the arms. Can we honor the heavens? And then exhale, back to standing. Pause in mountain pose. And imagine you're a mountain who's been there for centuries, for eons. As the moon changes phases, as the stars shift. And inhale, reach for the sky, and exhale, Utkatasana. And inhale, hands to your prop, lift the heart. And exhale, step your right foot back, lower the back heel, and float open to your Virabhadrasana 2. And inhale, the back hand towards the front hand, and exhale it through the heart. And inhale, and exhale. And as your upper body moves, can the legs stay strong and stable? Keeping the front knee open over your second metatarsal. It's a concentration practice, Dharana. And then let your gaze follow the back fingertips back down to the back leg, and then look forward towards the front palm, rising, dancing warrior. Release across the shoulder girdle, and again, the heart is lifted, supported by the back of the right side body. Feel the support for your own opening. And then find that place. It may be coming out of the pose a little, where you can hold the pose for a little while. Grounding the outer back heel so you don't collapse into the back foot arch. And then breathing into the body. Inviting the energy to flow. Straightening the front leg. Come up and float forward into your triangle pose. You may reach for a block or put your hand on the seat of the chair. Long spine out of the pelvis, rooted legs. Feel your connection with earth. Find your shoulder blades on the back body, and if it's available to you, stretch across the collarbones and perhaps take the lifted arm wing back just slightly, opening the heart skyward. Don't throw the hand back. Move back from the shoulder blade to stretch across the chest and open the heart. Fluid, three-dimensional breath, inviting the prana in, inviting the open sky in, inviting our ancestors in. Exhale. Release your hand back to the block. Float the back heel up. Bend the front knee and lower the back knee into your low lunge. Again, just rest into the position. You may draw your blocks back. I lowered my blocks to come to fingertips this time to stretch the side bodies long and hug in the banks of my river. So sometimes we don't go to the full extent of a pose, so we can feel the position in the kind of in-between stages. Lift through the pelvic floor, lengthen the spine. See if you can find a gentle lift to the heart. And then roll the hips back, the toes under, roll back towards your Parsvottanasana again. Both legs coming towards straight spine, long. You can walk your blocks forward or step back from the chair. Long spine, fluid breath. Draw the front leg hip crease back towards the back mat. This will help you stretch that outer hip. Breathe into the fabric of your physical body, your annamaya kosha. Let the breath be the pranamaya kosha, filling the annamaya kosha. Let your mind then take the shape of the pranamaya kosha and fill the physical body and the energy body with a desire to feel, to sense, to understand. And then allow your awareness of the wisdom body to fill these other sheaths. And see if you can sense the Anandamaya kosha, the bliss body, flowing like a stream of energy through them all. And bend the front leg and come up. Vira I. And exhale, release your hands, step the feet together. And inhale, lift for the sky. And exhale, Utkatasana, fierce pose. And inhale, fingertips to the blocks, heart lifts, spine lengthens. And step the left foot back. And lower the left heel. And open up into your Virabhadrasana 2. And inhale the back hand forward. And exhale it through the heart. Keeping the right knee open even as the arms move. We develop our awareness of the whole of who we are. The physical whole, the emotional whole. Pause with the hand back and lower the back fingertips lightly to the back leg, lifting the front palm into your dancing warrior. And take a position that you can hold. Knee still open over your second metatarsal. Make sure you're not crunching in along the spine, that you're not going so far back that you're straining. Find a place where the energy can flow in your pose, in your neck, in your jaw. Find that energy flow place. So we tune into the pranamaya kosha to find where we should hold the pose. Let it become a piece of art and offering. And then straightening the front leg, cartwheel forward into your trikonasana. Rooting from the pelvis deep into the earth. Lengthen the spine and stretch your wingspan. Ground your arm that's connected to earth and stretch across the collarbones and see, can you slightly lift the heart by drawing the lifted wing shoulder blade onto the back body to support the front heart. Fluid breath. And then exhale, the lifted wing, lift the back heel, come into your front lunge and lower the knee. Come into your chosen low lunge position and really try to find a gentle lift through the pelvic floor. See if you can lift the front belly away from the front leg a little bit and use that abdominal core strength up the front of the spine to help you lift the heart. Feel into the back of the heart, supporting the lift of the front of the heart. Let yourself lean back on the community so that you can blossom into your full potential. And then exhale, roll yourself back, lift up and straighten your legs into your Parsvottanasana. It may be here where your spine can be long and the front hip crease draw back. And then you play with, can I hinge from the pelvis or do I have to curl my spine? If you're curling your spine, pause. Try to hinge from the pelvis. It may be different side to side how far you can go. Draw the front hip crease back to stretch the outer hip. Check in with both knees that you're not hyperextending. Root into the four corners of each foot. Can we feel grounded and let that grounding help us to open the body? Can we invite in our water, our space, our sky? And then bend your front knee and float the arms up, Virabhadrasana 1. Heart lift. And exhale, hands to the heart, step your feet together, mountain pose. Rest onto your heels, root the tailbone, lift the low rib ring and the base of the skull and rest back. Turn your palms forward and find the shoulder blades on the back body. Broad across the back shoulders. See if you can root the tail and find a gentle lift to the heart without flaring the front ribs. So you're stretching from your lowest ribs up the rib cage. Relax the shoulders away from the ears and let your head just bobble a moment. And then softly open the eyes and let the eyes look up to 12 o'clock and down to 6, up to sky and down to earth, sky and earth, sky and earth in center. And then go to 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 12. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 6, and 12, and 6, and sky and earth, and center. And let your eyes close and let them rest. Still, the shoulder blades are strong on the back body. We're open across the wings of the collarbones, and as we root the tailbone, there's a gentle lift to the heart. Root the heels. Let the base of the skull rest back and lift. Check in that your knees are one bone over the other instead of thrown back in effort. And release. Okay, I'd like us to bring in a chair or blocks to come into revolved triangle now. So you can bring the chair or the block or both to the left side of your mat. If you're using blocks, you might want to block on the right side as well, and then you don't have to switch props. And then we came through Parsvottanasana several times so that we had the length. Now we're going to come into revolved triangle. So we'll step the right foot forward and the left foot back and take our rock step. And then ground our feet to earth. Remember, you want your feet hip bone distance, your heels sit bone distance wide. You want to honor your own pelvis. And then you want your legs as wide as is comfortable forward to back. Because in these poses, as you fold forward, you need the stability of this base. And so if the base is smaller, it's actually more of a strain on the low back and the hips. If you step the foot back farther, you have a wider base, okay? So then we inhale and lift the heart. Just rise, lengthen the spine. And then we exhale and we fold forward towards our Parsvottanasana and bring the left hand to the chair seat and float your right arm up. Right shoulder blade onto the back. You open the right wing. Now lengthen through the spine from tailbone through top of head. And you may need to move the back heel a little bit. Make sure you check in with the back knee that it isn't straining. Fluid breath. Rooting from the pelvis into the legs, lengthening the spine and spreading across the arms like you're a star in that sky. Fluid breath. Let yourself shine out. Three-dimensional breath. And then exhale, release your right wing. Inhale, lift your heart again towards the heavens. And exhale, step your feet together and pause in your mountain pose. Soften. See if you can release the skin and the muscle tissue and imagine that you're opening the fabric of the body into a little bit of a looser weave so the energy can flow through. And then we'll switch sides, stepping the left foot forward and the right foot back, taking our rock step, and then landing heels sit bone distance wide. We inhale and lift the arms, rooting the legs. We stretch the sides of the spine long and exhale, float forward. Bringing the right hand to the prop. We make sure that the wrist is beneath the shoulder to support us and float the left wing open. Pause here. and draw the front leg hip crease back and lengthen the spine out of the roots of your legs and pelvis. And then open the wing. Fluid breath. Continuing to draw that front hip crease back. You can move the back heel if you need to in support of the back knee. Fluid breath. Some people's heels touch here, some people's heels do not touch because of the anatomy of your ankle. You may want a wedge or a blanket roll under your heel. That's okay. Fluid breath. Three-dimensional breath. Draw the breath in deep into your pelvis and then let it shine back out again through each limb, through your crown chakra, into earth. Imagine your breath could also help the northern lights to dance, the stars to shine a little brighter. And release the lifted arm, rooting the feet. Inhale, lift the heart skyward. And exhale, hands to the heart, mountain pose. Turn your palms forward, thumbs out, broad across the shoulder girdle. Root the tailbone. Lift the low back rib ring. And then keeping that lift the heart. Can you rest the base of the skull back and the shoulders open as if there were a little blanket roll along your spine? And then see, can you rest into this version of mountain pose? Check in that your knees aren't hyperextended. The femur bone is over the tibia into the rooting feet. You are connected to earth, a conduit of energy between earth and sky. And release. Let's take one more standing pose today, eagle pose. If you need support as far as balance goes, you could bring the chair in beside you. So let's start with the block on the right side of the right foot. And the pinky toe, your toes could be like just a quarter, a third of the way up the block forward. So the block's a little ahead of your foot. And here's where we're going. We're going to go into our cranes. And then we're going to lift the foot and step over to the block for Garud asana, eagle pose. Okay, so you could use this chair if you needed to, or a wall. And then you can play with really getting the foot solid and see if you can come into the arm work. Okay? All right, so pause in your mountain. Find that lifting heart, that long spine. And then let yourself begin to float into your flying eagle. Let the arms rise and release like fluid water. Let the leg lift and relax down. You are the eagle free in the sky above the ocean. And inhale, lift the leg and step it over onto your block. Bend the knees, and you can hug the legs together or hug them into each other, whichever works better for you. And then float the right arm over the left and either come back of hand to back of hand or cross at the elbows, back of hand to back of hand, or palm to palm. Lift the fingertips skyward and let the elbows move away from your body slightly as you draw the spine back. And then see, can you root the four corners of the standing foot and lift the toes of the foot on the block and play towards balance? Some of you may be able to lift the foot and wrap it around the calf. Stay with your breath. Hug in the banks of the river gently. And then if you'd like to go farther, exhale, elbows toward your hip creases, toward your belly. Like an eagle getting ready to dive for a fish, open your wings and fly up and land. Mountain pose. Let yourself be in this scene. You are the eagle. on the tree, on the mountain, above the ocean, beneath the big sky. And then take your block around to the other side. And as you're ready, begin to fly. Inhaling and exhaling. Grounding the four corners of the standing foot and feeling into the three arches supporting you. It's quite a little surface to be standing this body on. Let your head rest back. Let your front heart lift slightly as the tailbone grounds you. And then as you're ready, float the leg up and over to the block and bend the knees. And find support and stability through the legs. They can hug together, they can press apart into each other. Left arm over right to find your Garud asana arms for today. And take a few fluid breaths. Maybe you float the toes lighter on the block. Maybe you lift them up off and wrap them around. Honor what you need to find integrity in this pose today. And then breathe into the greater fabric. Feel outside the pose, into the sky. And as you're ready, let the elbows come in if you like. Bowing towards earth, looking down at the ocean. Inhale, take off from the tree. Lift and land. Mountain pose. Feel into the work your feet just did. Thank you, feet. That the whole body had to do to find balance in this unique pose. Turn your palms forward, open across the collarbones. Find the shoulder blades strong on your back as you root your tail. Breathe into the three dimensions of your torso and let yourself rest into being a mountain. A mountain below the open, starry sky. Where the light shines through from our loved ones. Can you rest into being a mountain? Where can you release tension from the pose? Play with really subtle movements and weight shifts to find the most ease, the most length. You may have to add strength in certain places to let it release from others. If your breath becomes strained, you're working too hard. Come back to an easeful breath. And then play again with modifying. Feel into the fabric of this physical body, the movement of the energy body. Let the mind feel both. Settling deep into the wisdom body. Where we can feel that ananda flowing through the openings in the sky, through all of us. And then let's gently release. Today, let's bring a chair in and a bolster or blanket for underneath your feet. If you want a different restorative, please feel free to take that. This is just my offering because we were standing most of practice. You can bring in your bolster, bring in a blanket to keep yourself warm if you need one. It's a little chilly here this morning. And let your calves come up to the seat of the chair and lift your pelvis and relax it onto your bolster. Cover yourself up in your waterfall pose. And feel the hug of gravity at your back. Now let your head nod no, side to side. And then nod yes. It is your right to say both no and yes. Come into your gentle cervical curve where your head is comfortable and rest. Your hands can be on your belly, they can be on the floor, palms down or palms up. You could have one hand on your belly, one on your heart. Feel for the earth beneath the back of your heart. The earth, the home of this community. Feel the support earth gives the heart to open. And relax your scalp and your forehead and the muscles of your face and jaw. See if you can relax your tongue to its very root. Relax open the wings, the collarbones, and the shoulders. And see if you can relax down the length of the arms into the hands and fingers. Feel into the very channel of your spine and relax the tissue between the vertebrae. Come back to the muscles of the face and jaw and see if they can relax anymore. Follow this relaxation into the neck and the shoulders and the arms. And down the spine to the pelvis. Relaxing the legs and the feet. Once again, look at that tapestry of your life and wrap it around you. And let it sink into you. Now gently bring energy back into fingers and toes. Let your jaw move gently side to side. And as you're ready, begin to stretch and open whatever way your body calls for this morning. And then gently lift up, off, and roll yourself over. And come back to your comfortable seat. Let yourself rest here a moment, integrating the practice. Almighty light of blue, gorgeous hue of missing you. Heavenly, serene of green, deepest love that never leaves. Now intertwined for eternity. Shansi. Let's inhale our hands to our hearts. May we all celebrate our uniqueness and remember we're a part of a much larger whole. Namaste. Thank you for attending class.